What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mark Out Wrestling with your hosts, Anthony and Glenn. I, of course, am Glenn.
I'm Anthony.
And we had a big weekend, in the wrestling world with NXT Takeover Wargames as well as Survivor Series. I mean, we can just jump right into it if you'd like.
Sure, let's start.
All right. So let's start with NXT Takeover Wargames. We'll start with the first match. Lars Sullivan defeating Cassius Ohno. Any takeaways from that match?
Yeah, it's weird how, takeovers do, the least exciting bout to the most exciting, or maybe least important to most important.
Uh-huh.
Whereas WWE tries to, or the main card tries to do big match, kind of a layover, big match, kind of a layover, or,
Right. They
cool down matches, yeah.
Yeah.
Which format do you like better out of those?
I like the way NXT does it.
Yeah?
A lot
least
better.
important to most important?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, too. It gives, it makes it feel bigger and bigger, and the momentum keeps going as the night goes on.
Right.
As opposed to this is another bathroom break kind of thing. And
right, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This match, this was probably the weakest match on the card, and it was still a good match.
It went exactly the way we thought it was going to go, though, right?
With Lars winning.
I heard someone tweet or read somewhere, I think, that Lars Sullivan should be the NXT's version of Braun Strowman.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I don't know about that. He's 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
He's not
he's a big guy.
Yeah, he has more of a Brock Lesnar build, but he's a poor man's Brock Lesnar. He's not as fast as Brock.
Sure.
He's probably as strong, though.
Oh, I would imagine.
They mentioned twice, his big noggin. He's the size of that skull. That's his best attribute.
See, this was it was a brute match between these two. I mean, they were beating the hell out of each other, which was a good way to start the show, to get you into it. The biggest news coming out of that match was Cassius Ohno being the first person to ever take Lars Sullivan off of his feet.
Really?
Yeah, he had not been knocked down in any of his matches up until this point.
How do you make it that far without taking a bump?
I mean, just the way you're, being built.
Yeah, I guess. And he's homegrown too, I guess.
Yeah. I loved when he was yelling, I will end you, while he was on his knees taking just kick after kick to the head from Cassius Ohno. But this match is exactly how I thought it went. It was exactly what I wanted it to be, and Lars Sullivan walked away with the win.
I agree.
All right. On to match number 2.
I thought you knew something, because we both agreed that Peyton Royce had no shot. And then the day of, you're dude, Peyton Royce is going to win. Yeah, I'm switching my pick. And I was like, he fucking knows something.
No, it was just some weird feeling that I had. Obviously, it didn't end up being the case. We can go to that match if you want to.
I came home. I was like, wasn't that the next match?
No, Aleister Black and...
Oh, my bad. Okay, so...
Match of the night was the next match.
Right. Well, okay, so let's just get to the women.
Okay.
I was legit, I came home and watched it, and I was just bummed out, I know Peyton Royce wins now.
Oh, yeah.
Because Glenn knew something. He had to.
You weren't watching it live?
No.
Okay.
But I didn't get spoiled, so.
Okay, yeah.
I actually had someone at work who I guess listens to the podcast, or maybe every now and then listens to, I don't know. But I guess because of the podcast, he knows that I like wrestling. Uh-huh. I had no idea he liked wrestling. He's like, dude, take over tonight. I was like, don't you say a word, dude. He's like, what? You're not going to go look it up on your phone? I was like, no.
Yeah.
Why would I spoil it and then watch it? That makes no sense to me.
Absolutely. Okay, so you want to start with that? That's fine. There's a couple, a few, big moves going in this match where Ember Moon does the suicide dive out of the ring and then hits Nikki Cross with that vicious powerbomb outside.
Yeah.
That was easily one of the best spots in that match.
I told my friend who was watching it with me, I was like, I feel like Nikki Cross is legit crazy.
Yeah.
She always has these spots that you're like, oh, that's terrible. I was like, I guarantee you she's in the back powerbomb me on the outside. And they're like, we could probably do that inside or something. Like,
we don't have to be
do it outside.
Do it outside. You see, when they were backstage and it showed William Regal walk in and he was talking to Eric Young, and you just see Nikki Cross running through the corner of the screen
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
she was hiding behind the big guys or something.
Right. Good match. Then let's see. We had Kairi Sane hit that picture perfect elbow drop off the top rope, which was also another good spot. And then
seems like all the women get good action in that.
Yeah, this match there was at times it felt just a little bit sloppy. I mean, not too bad. Nothing to take away from the match, but
no, definitely a little bit.
But then of course Ember Moon hits the double eclipse,
which was ridiculous.
Connected on it perfectly.
That move looks like it hurts her.
I know.
Like you're like landing in the splits on your butt. I don't know. That sounds terrible.
But
while spinning.
She hits it, wins her first NXT Women's Championship.
Well deserved.
Yeah, and then of course after the match, Asuka is there, and she's the one that hands the title to Ember Moon.
Cool moment, man. It needed to be like Asuka handing it over, other than like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like a passing of the torch, and like,
right.
Yeah, and Asuka never lost it, so I like the fact that she handed it over.
Yeah,
that was a cool moment.
But it felt like it was almost like a moment, like, here, have this title that I gave up because you couldn't beat me.
No, I didn't think that.
No, I mean, that's not how I'm just saying. All right. Man, we are breezing through this, huh? All right, let's get to the...
Dude, we got a lot of matches. You better calm down.
The Aleister Black defeating Velveteen Dream. This, for me, was match of the night.
Well, as far as, like, telling a story, yeah.
Oh,
but as far as, like, pure carnage.
Well, that's different. Like, from
oh, my gosh.
From a technical standpoint, this was match of the night.
This was, like... Because... I feel like most people had really high expectations for this match coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And it exceeded everything.
Yeah.
To have high expectations and then to just exceed it the way they did.
Yeah.
Was amazing.
You know how good Aleister Black is. You weren't sure how good Velveteen Dream was going to be. And he blew me out of the water.
I love when Velveteen's like doing like his like hip gyration and stuff.
Yeah, he was
Aleister's like just looking away.
He was doing his Rick Rude dance.
Velveteen sits down.
With his Rick Rude inspired pants where he had...
Those pants were fantastic.
They were amazing.
Say my name.
Yep. I think the coolest move in this match was that like modified DDT that he hit. That Sister Abigail / it
started in the Sister
DDT
Abigail position
thing.
And turns it into a DDT. And I was just like, that should be his finisher.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was dope.
I thought I was like, when he hit that, I was like, oh shit. Like,
it's over.
Yeah. He won this match. He beat Aleister Black, and he kicks out, and I was like, holy smokes.
Did this feel like a win-win?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it feels like a star was kind of made.
Absolutely.
Velveteen Dream.
And both of them.
And him getting Aleister to say his name at the end.
Right. He says, enjoy infamy, Velveteen Dream. So he says his name. It's a little jab, but then you see you see Velveteen Dream kind of give that smirk when he's laying on the ground.
I love the way he was still selling it. While he said his name, he looks like he's out of it.
Yeah. Good match of the night, in my opinion. A lot of back and forth action.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, I feel like that should get out of anything a 5-star. Like, that was...
Yeah.
If any match this week can get a 5-star, it should be that one.
Yeah. I did like when Aleister Black was sitting cross-legged, and so Velveteen Dream sat down cross-legged, and then Aleister Black slid into that kind of thing that the Dream normally does. Yeah, a lot of cool moments in this match.
It was cool that Black did that.
Yeah. What did you think of the setup of Takeover with the arena, with them switching back and forth between each ring?
I thought it was weird, man.
Yeah.
Like, by the end of the night, I was down with it.
Well, I understand why they did it
At first, I was like, this is stupid.
Right. They did it one ring, and they'd switch rings so that if you buy front row tickets, you're not still missing out on the pay-per-view. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
That makes sense.
Yeah. We already talked about the women's because you just...
Dude, I was excited.
You got freaky about Peyton Royce.
That ended exactly how I said it was going to be. Ember Moon wins. Kairi Zane's not involved in the finish. They're still trying to protect her, I think.
Yep.
But they got to be careful to not do what they did with Asuka. Don't make her undefeated. You know, she can be an underdog or whatever. She doesn't need to be the favorite every time just because she won the Mae Young Classic.
Right. I agree. All right. Next match was for the NXT Championship.
Wow.
This surprised me.
This was huge. I almost called it too, but I was scared to pull the trigger. I kept saying I won't be surprised if he wins.
Well, he did.
But then you're like, gun to your head. I was like, well, gun to my head. You always go with the incumbent, right? So.
Almost defeats Drew McIntyre to win the NXT Championship.
I don't think it's possible. I think Almas is one of those guys. Like, he just can't put on a bad match.
No, dude. He's a star in the making if he is handled carefully. That guy has a huge
He's
upside.
So much better as a heel, too.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you remember how they brought in Del Rio because they wanted that big Mexican star to take place of Rey Mysterio and stuff like that? this guy has the potential to actually be that.
I agree.
Once he gets to the main roster.
He's I think it's time to start putting him in a like conversation with like Samoa Joe and Finn Balor and AJ Styles as far as like in-ring performers, because I can't remember the last time he had a bad match.
Yeah.
He's just so talented.
I wouldn't put him in that category just yet.
I think no, I'm not putting him in the category, but it's time to put him in the conversation.
There was lots of near falls in this match early on too, which is I always like near falls and false finishes and stuff like that. But
let's get to the big news. Drew McIntyre.
Well, we'll get to it after the match. It happened after the match. Calm down, sir.
The second McIntyre got pinned, like he was like, okay, now I can worry about my damn bicep. Like he's like, oh my gosh.
It happened during that spot, so we'll get to it. Just calm down.
It happened when it went over the rope.
You calm down. Almost hit that inverted DDT. Do you remember that spot?
No.
No,
but I know
it was. I'm pretty sure it was like off the ropes.
Really?
Yeah, it was sweet. It was a sweet move. And then that moonsault that he hit.
Yeah.
That was a great spot. How about Vega? Like, she is much more than, like, a valet. Like, she is, like, an old school manager and making sure that she promotes her guy. She gets her guy over. She gets him his title match. She helps him win the match. Like,
I love that there's no, like, romantic storyline there.
None whatsoever.
Like, you don't have to have that just because you have a male and a female.
Exactly.
Right. She's just there to help him win. And profit from him too, you know.
Right.
I love the way she tried to do that. Hurricane Rana into the steps, and he just like
caught her.
Yeah.
Like, no, but then later on in the match, Almas leaves the ring, grabs the title, and she comes in and does the spiked Hurricane Rana.
That was dope.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So many near falls.
Yeah, and with Almas kicking out of Future Shock DDT, like I thought it was over there. Nope. And then he hits the spiked DDT off the rope.
Did he kick out of the Claymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. I don't know if he kicked out or if
Vega put his foot on the rope.
That's what it was.
Vega put his foot on the rope.
She tried. She was a little late.
She was a little late.
He helped her out.
Yeah, it worked though.
Yeah.
It was fine. And then almost hit that spiked DDT off the rope for the or off the turnbuckle for the finish to win the title. Now we'll talk about McIntyre getting hurt, but before we do that, did it feel like that finish still felt like that wasn't exactly how it was supposed to go? I'm not saying, like, I think Almas was supposed to win the match. I think he was supposed to win the title. The ending of the match just felt a little sudden.
No, it definitely felt like, I actually was thinking the same thing when it happened. Yeah. And then whenever, like, and then when we got the news about McIntyre, I was, like, really, like, convinced, okay, that wasn't how it was supposed to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McIntyre
almost looked legit surprised when it happened, to the point that I was thinking,
I still think he was supposed to win the title.
You do.
I do.
I don't know if I'm
just not sure if that's how it was supposed to go down.
Like, I wonder if, like, you get instructions, like, if you get an injury that you think's to, like, switch.
Yeah. Do
you think that's ever happened, that they gave out, like, those kind of instructions?
Yeah, so I was actually talking to somebody about this yesterday before Survivor Series started. And I guess NXT officials are taught that to count the 3. If you don't get your shoulder up, they count the 3 count.
That's supposed to be all WWE officials. Yeah. Like, you're supposed to sell it as real. Like, you need to kick out. You need to, not
and if you don't, then you're going to get called. So, I don't know. I do think Almas was supposed to win the match, but if not, then it was because of McIntyre's injury, which is, of course, a torn bicep.
That's a big...
How long is he out on that, do you think?
I think it's like 6 months.
Wow. So if that is the case...
It's a big injury.
When he comes back, I feel like you just put him directly on the main roster.
No, I'd like to see him stay on NXT.
I did... For what?
I feel like the main roster is just crowded right now.
Well, in 6 months, you don't know.
I do. We'll probably have more guys up. I swear we're going to get 1 or 2 in these tonight or tomorrow.
You think so?
It seems like that's what they're doing now, is after a Big 4 pay-per-view, they'll do a few call-ups. After Mania, we got that. After SummerSlam, we got that. I think it's going to be the same after Survivor Series, and then we'll have to wait till Mania to get some more. I really do. I feel like that's the kind of formula or kind of path they've chosen.
If that's the case, the only 2 people I can see coming up, or I guess it's 3 rather, is Hideo Itami. I think he goes to the Cruiserweight division. and then Authors of Pain.
I agree 100% with both of those selections.
So, I don't know. We'll see. But that does bring us to the main event where we talk about the Authors of Pain and the Undisputed Era defeating Authors of Pain, Roddy, and Sanity. We both said this was going to be the case.
Let me stop you. Before we move on to that, if McIntyre's out, who does Almost face next?
Adam Cole.
Gargano?
It could be Gargano. I still think that Gargano is held off a little closer until Ciampa comes back. So then maybe it's not Adam Cole. Maybe it's...
I think there'll be one person before Cole, because I think once Cole gets in line, Cole wins it. Yeah.
So
I'm thinking Gargano
Roddy?
might get one shot.
Again?
Roderick Strong was my other one.
Yeah.
Might get one shot, and then it's Cole. But whoever he faces, I think he wins.
Yeah,
before dropping it.
The reason, like I said, I'm not sure it's Gargano is because first off, the interesting stat that Gargano hasn't won a match since they split up. At least
maybe
not on
they
TV.
do like a fatal 4-way or something to determine the champion or the contender, and then Gargano wins that.
I still think it's closer until Ciampa comes back because I think Ciampa comes back costing him his title match.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure how. Ciampa's still like a month or two away.
They
from coming back.
have to relive that feud once
absolutely
Ciampa comes out. Yeah,
absolutely. So, a gun to my head,
I think it's Roddy.
I would probably say Roderick Strong. Yeah,
yeah, but I would like to see Gargano again. They put on a hell of a match. It's the last takeover. So
yep. Okay.
Main event time.
All right. Undisputed Era beats Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong and Sanity. We both said that this was gonna happen. It should have happened, but man,
but this was about the journey, not the ending.
Carnage. Talk about train wreck in the best way possible.
Where do you start? You start with Wolf busting his head open on that German suplex.
God,
or
that
super German suplex.
Yeah, that was.
He hit his back of the head on the second table.
Yeah,
there's just too much of a gap.
Well, it looked like it broke actually, and the sharp end sliced. He had like a 5-inch gash on his head or something like that.
That guy has to be concussed.
Well, you notice he only took one bump after that happened.
Still.
Yeah.
I feel he wasn't there when everyone was there for that superplex off the cage.
Oh my god, dude, that spot was nuts.
He was still like being checked on the second ring.
Fucking the crowd's chanting, "Please don't die."
Yeah.
That was nuts.
There's that spot which I was thinking like as it's happening, I'm like, they're not gonna do that. You don't superplex someone off a cage.
Right.
And then they did it. They did a great job of not showing us everyone at the bottom. Because if we would have seen that, we would have been like, oh, they're gonna But I was like, they're not going to do it. Like, there's going to be some kind of counter or something.
Right.
And then they just start to go, and I'm like, no!
And then the camera comes down, and you see everybody, and you're like,
oh,
okay.
Thank God. Yeah, and it still looked like a hard landing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I thought it was brilliant that after that, like, as soon as they hit, Roddy pins Adam Cole. Well, like, everybody's laying on top
I thought it was over.
Yeah, and he kicks out.
I thought that should have been the ending, but it should have been Cole, like, his arm was just accidentally on Roddy or something.
Yeah.
Right? And they count with everybody knocked out. Mm-hmm. That should have been the ending, as opposed to what was.
Now, who was your MVP in this match?
So I know what everyone says.
And I agree with it.
Me too. I love the coast-to-coast Killian Dane did, too. And I was like, oh, that looked bad.
But the best part about
Kyle
that
O'Reilly was pressing his face against that trash can.
The best part about that whole thing was Adam Cole's up on top of the cage and Killian Dane climbs up and he looks at him like, says like, I'm gonna kill your boy, and then fucking does the coast to coast, and holy smokes,
it looked like there's a few times Adam Cole's like trying to climb out. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, if you want to talk about a superstar in the making, if handled correctly, Killian Dane has superstar written all over him.
He's got so much overcome with like the images he's
What do you mean?
While Vince McMahon is in charge.
Ah.
Like Kevin Owens is an outlier. He's not. It's not going to be normal or the norm for someone with his body type to get the push that he has. You have to be really special.
I think he is.
I think he is too, but I don't think while Vince is in charge, Killian Dane gets.
Well, I still think he's a little ways away from being called up. He did make his main roster debut already
at WrestleMania
during the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but
people went crazy for him there too.
Mm-hmm. I still think he's at least a year and a half away from being called up.
So, what'd you think about the difference between Wargames now and in the past?
I know a lot of people were complaining because it wasn't, quite like it used to be. Like, I think the original concept was 2 teams of 5 people. This was 3 teams of 3 people, and then there was no roof on the cage. But it honestly is like Triple H said. It's just you gotta change with the times, and I think Dusty would be proud of the way this match.
I agree that like
happened.
You can't lean too much on the past because you'll never live up to it. If you try to just emulate.
Right. Exactly.
So you gotta kind of make your own path, and man, those guys, like whether you hate them or love them or whatever, like that was just theater at its best. Those guys put everything on the line.
Yeah.
That's actually what I tell people when they're like, "Why do you watch that? It's fake." I say it's theater.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
It's not fake. Like it's scripted. It's predetermined. Right. It's not fake.
Exactly.
You know what's fake?
That's a big difference.
Is your superhero movies that you watch? You know what I mean?
That's why I say you watch movies, right?
Yeah.
It's the same like when people ask me, "Why do you read a book? You've already read it." Don't you watch movies you've already seen?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, dude.
Yeah. You can read.
Yeah.
In terms of TakeOver, where does this land for you?
What do you mean? Like, is
one of your favorites? Is it in your top 3, top 5?
It has to be. Just for the man, I can't remember the last TakeOver that had a bad match. And I'm not saying Ono versus Sullivan was a bad match, but it was kind of a squash match. But as far as like oh man, it's got.
I agree with what you're saying because like I feel like after every TakeOver, I'm like, this might have been my favorite TakeOver, and then just like every time after, man, they just seem to be able to outdo themselves.
The one before SummerSlam was probably my favorite.
Yeah,
but this is probably top 3 for sure.
Unless I agree 100%.
Just the Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream, and then the main event were just
those 2
special.
matches alone,
and like even the women's match, it was just like action after, like there was no slow moments in it.
Right.
But okay, so I keep saying this, like every time TakeOver happens and it's before a big 4, right? Mm-hmm. Just why would you do that to yourself?
Right.
Because you just like set the bar so insanely high. Like you're setting the bar like AJ Styles high, and now telling everyone else to match it.
Yeah.
On the main roster, and consistently they fail. This might have been the first time they kind of maybe
were close to actually competing. I agree.
So let's move on to the Survivor Series. We're getting...
All right. Let's really quick talk about the pre-show because nobody really gives a shit about it.
All right. Did you watch it?
Yeah, but only because I didn't have anything else.
I watched one match.
Which one?
I watched the Hardy versus Elias Sampson.
Okay, that match made no sense.
Yeah, it's just thrown together, something to do.
I did see Matt Hardy tweeted out something has to change.
I saw that too. I don't like that.
So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. Enzo and Kalisto again. Enzo wins.
Hopefully that rivalry's dead.
Yeah, that's where Hideo Itami comes in, I guess.
That'd be great.
We'll see. And then this one actually made sense, though. Kevin Owens versus the Fashion Police. Not necessarily their opponents making sense. It made sense for them to be on the pre-show, though.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, for 2 reasons. One, the main card was already stacked full. 2, it furthered their fuel towards Shane and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it added to the storyline.
Right, exactly. And they, of course, went over. I mean, if they would have lost, then I probably would have been like, oh, no. But they won. But we still got a lot to cover. So let's jump right in to what was actually the first match of the night.
Yeah, the Shield versus the New Day.
I'm going to let you take a little reins on this. What'd you think?
Well, first of all, the crowd was way behind the Shield.
Yeah.
Like, unless the New Day was doing one of their famous, like, chants or something. Like, the fans got involved in that, but they were clearly, like, booing every time the New Day did anything.
I think it was clear that the New Day were the heels in this match.
Yeah.
Especially with the promos and Twitters.
And the way they did, like, a slow beatdown of Dean, and they had to, the Shield had to make a comeback.
Yeah.
I love that spot where Dean's just getting beat up for so long that Rollins and Reigns were like, screw it. Just went up to the outside and started messing.
Yeah.
Like,
this match was a good match, but it was not as half as good as it could have been, in my opinion. I felt like they could have done a lot more in this match.
I don't like you saying that. Like, but, I mean,
it was still a good match.
I agree. I think these two teams need to feud more.
Well, that's the problem is they were feuding like they were going to have a follow-up match, and there's not going to be a follow-up match. That was the problem with
I feel like on a B-level pay-per-view or just a brand-specific pay-per-view, like these guys get at least 30 minutes to work with.
Probably.
They got like 15, 20 here.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of...
Yep.
But still, it was a great match. By the way, no match in the main card was under 15 minutes. First time. And it was because there wasn't much build-up to any of the matches, so they didn't do any pre-match vignettes.
Vignettes, yeah.
Yeah, and so they just got more wrestling time, and it made for a better show, in my opinion.
Alexa and Charlotte only went like 10.
No. I read on Bleacher Report that no match went under 15, but
I swear to God, I looked at it just earlier today. Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn it said 10. But yeah, but all the matches did get still a decent amount of time to work with.
Yeah. It's the right move for the Shield to go over to.
I think that Big E was the standout of this match.
I don't know if there's really a standout. I think all of them look good. All of them look strong.
They did, but I think Big E was... I think he was the clear.
I think he's the clear like star.
I think he
whatever
turns
he
heel eventually on the New Day because of the promos. The way he's been saying, one of you are going to turn on each other, but we're brothers. We never turn on each other.
That's why I thought. That's why I told you like before.
Before
the match, I was like, I think maybe the New Day like turns on each other.
He turns heel eventually
because there was too much alluding to that as far as like, oh, we've never turned on each other. I'm like, okay, guys.
I think he gets his big push once that happens too.
He deserves it. That guy is a star, man.
I agree. I think I wrote these down out of order. I don't think Usos and the Bar were next, but we'll talk about that. Usos defeated the Bar. Although
the next match was
it was the Raw Women's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you jumped out of line earlier.
Okay.
No, that's fine. We can talk about the Raw Women's match. Worst match of the night, in my opinion.
Second worst.
You have really?
Yeah.
Really?
The men's Survivor traditional elimination was worst, in my opinion.
But
let's talk about the women's. Okay.
Team Raw wins.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch gets eliminated early, really early on a roll-up. We're both Becky Lynch fans.
If we would have done this...
She deserves so much better.
If we would have done this podcast right after the pay-per-view, I would have ranted for about an hour.
Right?
I was so pissed off. Like, I was so ready to just shut off my TV. Like, I'm dead serious because it feels like she can't get the push she deserves. And so it seems like finally they were going to reward her by making her the captain. And then she lasts for 2 seconds.
Right.
And it's just, I was so fed up at this point. And man.
She deserves way better than she is being given. I mean, she's the first SmackDown Women's Champion.
That she lost the first time she defended it.
Was it the first time?
Yeah, to Alexa
Bliss. I don't know.
She held the belt for a month.
And in my opinion, of the 4 horsewomen, she is the best.
I agree.
I think, in my opinion, it goes her, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley.
It's very clear that WWE does not feel the same.
Yeah, without question. It's very clear
I get
that WWE...
why they did it. They wanted to get the faces out of the way so that people were rooting for Asuka. It was her against 2 heels.
Right.
I get it. But you know how much better it would have been if Becky lost to Asuka? Like, how much more that would have put Asuka over?
Right. Wouldn't that have felt better if the last person to get eliminated was Becky from Asuka?
And it doesn't even have to be the last person eliminated. If she would have just eliminated her first or whatever.
Right.
But Becky, man.
I can just see you fuming right now.
I'm trying not to because I told myself I wasn't going to rant about it.
But here's the thing.
It's pissing me off all over again. I'm really pissed off right now.
Like, they wanted to get the faces out earlier, like you said. But that in this type of match, that doesn't really matter and it doesn't really make sense.
It immediately, like as soon as Becky's out, she's the first one out, right? It's 5-on-4. Mm-hmm. And now you're looking at the SmackDown team. There's Tamina, Natalya, Carmella, and Naomi. And you're just immediately thinking, this feels like a one-sided beatdown. Because the other side has Bayley, Sasha, Asuka.
Like, there's no way this team should win.
And Jax. And you're like, whoa, I already know what's going to happen.
Right. And let's talk about that. Bayley was out second fairly quickly into the match, too.
Yeah. Like, Alicia Fox got more offense than Becky Lynch and Bayley combined.
Right. And then, speaking of Alicia Fox, that botched 3 count, I don't know if it was on the ref or if it was on her.
No, okay, so what was supposed to happen, clearly, or from my opinion, Sasha Banks went for the, not Sasha Banks.
Alicia Fox?
No, who did? Naomi went for her submission, but didn't lock the arm. So it was like a crossface without the arm locked in. So she was just pulling on their head, and she could have just turned over. And it was weird. Like, I'm pretty sure she was supposed to tap there. But
the ref counted 3?
Well, because afterwards they did that because what happened is Naomi's been doing this. She goes she rolls up like she's going into a pin, but then turns it into her submission.
Right.
And the ref was just like, okay, well, that's not. So he just like, I counted you out.
Yeah, maybe that was like, maybe it was in his ear.
Go back and rewatch it. I swear it's because it was supposed to be a submission.
I'll take a look at it again. I'll take a look at it again. And then Nia was eliminated by a count out. I'm fine with that, actually.
Everyone thought it was like a dream match, her and Tamina. I was like, eh.
Why? I don't think Tamina's very good either. And I actually have that written down. Tamina was in this match for way too long.
I like her Superfly Semi Snuka little dive or whatever.
Well, I mean, that is her dad, so.
Yeah, I mean.
But I don't like.
I'm aware. I'm just saying she doesn't ever do it.
I don't think she's a sound. She hardly ever wrestles, but I don't think she's a very
she doesn't
sound
win when she
wrestler. Yeah, but I was fine with Nia Jax getting counted out. It kept her strong. Fine. I mean, we know my opinion of Nia Jax. We don't have to get into that again. But then Asuka being the sole survivor, you could tell like that was the way. Like as the match progressed, you could tell that was the way they were going to end up going. And I mean, she beat Natty and Carmella. Were those the last two? No, Natty and Tamina.
Yeah,
Natty and Tamina. She beat them both with
which
the Asuka
made no
lock.
sense. That like Sasha Banks puts Natalya in the boss bank statement, and Natalya's screaming for Tamina to come help her.
Come help me.
So she comes and she helps her.
Yeah,
and then like she gets rid of Sasha, and then Asuka comes in, puts Tamina in a lock, and Natalya's just waiting on the side. Like, you can eliminate her. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay one back? Like, they should have made it like, there's no way you're going to beat us, like the odds are not in your favor.
Right.
And Asuka still overcomes it. Not just, I'll just sit here while you tap out my friend.
Yeah. I mean, she was a sole survivor against, Natty was, she was the former women's champion, but her reign was, or, her title run wasn't that spectacular. I felt like they gave her... It didn't feel as big as it should have been.
It's because they gave her the title to just kind of reward her for years of service, but had no intention of her keeping it whatsoever.
Yeah. The match, the ending...
Which we kind of said before, anyway.
Yeah. Didn't feel as big as it should have been.
All right.
Move on to... Honestly,
so, at this point, Raw's up 2-0.
Yes, at this point, Raw is up 2-0. And then...
The Usos versus the Bar. And they had said before this match that the Bar, or the Usos were backstage trying to rally Team Blue. Trying to get them back. So you're thinking, okay, maybe the Usos will pick up the first win.
Well, no, the next match was Baron Corbin versus Miz.
Oh, that's right.
Because this is what got SmackDown on the board.
Right.
And this match was my surprise match of the night. This match turned out a lot better than I thought. It might have been Baron Corbin's best match on the main roster.
Corbin was kind of the face.
He was.
Beating the crap out of the heels. He's
while
getting
still
his leg
doing
taken out,
heel tactics a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he did still hold up Miz's face to Maurice and then just like start punching him in the face. Like
he was
that's a heel thing to do.
Yelling at the fans. Yeah. Shut up and sit down.
But he attacks both Dallas and Axel, takes him out of the match. I did love Curtis Axel. He painted part of his neck brace red.
Did he?
Yeah, the front part was painted red, the back part was painted white, or was just white.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was
represent
good.
Team Red.
But good match, man. It was actually a really entertaining match. I was surprised.
Yeah, Miz looks strong. It's weird that like he couldn't get the win, like trying to defend his wife's honor.
It feels like he doesn't win very often. Still,
ever.
Like he's held this title forever, and it feels like he rarely wins.
As far as
in big match situations.
As far as like big talent goes, or like main eventers go, he eats clean pins more than anybody.
Right, I agree.
And that's why he needs like an entourage or a Maurice with him, because he can't win without him.
Yeah.
Or WWE's putting that in our brains. Like they don't think he can beat anybody by himself.
It is weird that it felt like Corbin was the face in this match, even though the reasoning behind Miz being vicious should have been like a face reason. He was defending his wife's honor, his unborn child's honor.
Weird.
Then the ending of the match was, of course, Corbin intercepting the running drop kick into the end of days, which is still one of my favorite moves. Don't get me wrong.
I love that move.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do when he meets a tall person though?
Well, he hit. I want to say he put Kane in the end of days. It was somebody big Cass. It was somebody. I don't remember, but it didn't look great. But I mean, he still pulled it off.
You just tuck your knees in.
Yeah, I guess. Then the next match was the Usos versus the Bar. So at this point, SmackDown is up. Or
SmackDown's
Raw's
down.
up 2-1.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. And we are filming this during Raw. Do you think there's fallout for each member of the Raw roster that lost their matches tonight? Because I was thinking about this. What if, like, Miz's punishment is facing Braun Strowman and he drops the title tonight?
That'll be great.
Yeah. I don't know if that happens because I don't see Braun getting rewarded for what happened at the end of the pay-per-view. But we'll get to that. Usos
so you would punish Alexa, Miz, and the Bar.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And on that, Usos defeating the Bar, which I just want to point out I was called every match right.
Did you?
Yep. Every match.
What about on Takeover? No, you didn't.
Nope, I did not on Takeover. On Survivor Series.
Okay.
I didn't on Takeover.
Okay.
There's a lot of double team spots in this match, which was really fun.
I love them.
It wasn't just like one guy versus one guy in the ring, which was, I mean, there were those moments, don't get me wrong, but there were still a lot of double team spots in this fun. I love them. I agree. I'm with you. There's the spot where Cesaro pushes Sheamus out of the way, takes the double kick, the double super kick.
Yeah.
It's like, they're such BFFs.
Dude. They should stay together for a while.
You think so?
Yeah.
I agree.
Usos clear number one team in WWE now.
Yeah. And I don't, it's funny, like I wouldn't have, even before this match, I would have still said they were the best tag team in the WWE.
Yeah.
They are my favorite team in WWE right now. In probably a long time.
I agree. It's hard to argue with that.
Was this your favorite match of the night? It's number 2 for me.
It's number 2 for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's number 2 for me.
I think we probably agree on the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the men's Raw Survivor Series match.
Nope.
The cool spots in this match was the end where Jimmy tags in Jay on that suicide dive. Like,
oh my gosh, best ending to a match all night.
So the thing that was crazy is like I didn't even realize Cesaro was over there.
Me neither.
So when he did it, I was like, "What the hell is he doing? Why is he just diving out of the ring for no reason?"
He had to make that tag so quick.
Yeah,
I hate spots like, and you see like Dean Ambrose do this all the time, where a guy's like 1 inch away from the other guys,
yeah,
and he jumps and dives into his hand. It's like, bro, you're right there.
Yeah,
like you could have just, you didn't even have to fully outstretch your hand. You would have tagged him, but just to make it dramatic, like you got to like, yeah, it's so stupid.
No, but that spot was dope.
Oh my, that was the best ending to a match all night.
Yeah, it was my favorite spot of the night. Well, I won't say that, but
well, I know how you predicted Brock and AJ did, and that came to fruition.
Hey,
but.
Call me the wrestling Nostradamus.
Let's go back to SummerSlam picks.
Let's not do that. We were both terrible on that.
I know nobody got that right.
Nothing happened the way we thought it was. That's neither here
we got like
there.
one match right, and that was for the Bar to lose the championships to the Shield.
Yeah. Were you happy with this outcome? Do you think the Usos?
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
I loved it.
Yep. All right.
Next match was Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
Women's title.
Again, Charlotte defeated Alexa. What was your take on this match? Because I've actually heard a lot of different things from a lot of different people.
I thought it was a really good match.
Really?
I really did.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was a good match. I didn't hate it at all. There were a lot of...
No, for sure.
Like, and if you watch a lot of Charlotte matches, as good as Charlotte is, there's a lot of missteps in her matches. If you watch Alexa matches, there are a lot of missteps. And you put them both together, and it was a little glaring in this match.
I'm not sure that's completely Charlotte's fault.
Not always, but I mean, she's the common denominator in there.
That's like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's like AJ Styles, right? No matter who you're in the ring with, they're not as good as you. So you could say AJ Styles has a lot of botches in his match. He had a botch in his match. Was that AJ Styles' fault, or is it because he's in the ring with a guy who's not used to like moving and turning like that, as far as like the tornado DDT botch? Like, so to me, like, Charlotte's on a different level than everyone right now. And I'm not saying like, I'm saying excluding the 4 horsewomen, right? Those 4 are so far above everyone else that, you know, I think that's what it is.
Well, but so here's the thing: is most of
I get like her and Sasha had botches too.
Yeah, like this. Most
There's
of
the
her
one where she
matches
almost
were
killed Sasha
or Bailey, or I mean,
but they were like really pushing the envelope then and trying to see what they could do, because those were too special. Like, they made magic, man.
All right, so this in the predictions was the hardest match for you to pick, right?
Yeah.
This is the one you kept going back and forth on.
And I picked Alexa, right?
I think you might have.
Yeah, I did pick Alexa. No, I did. I said I would probably change it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I almost text you that I changed it, and then I was like, no, I'm sticking to my guns.
So
I picked Alexa.
Was this the right outcome, though?
I don't think there was a wrong one.
Really?
I don't even think if Alexa wins, it's the wrong outcome. In fact, I think it would have been better if Alexa won, just because Charlotte for sure isn't hurt with a loss, and Alexa would just catapult her even more than she already is.
You know, I read an, or I didn't read
Which
an
would
article,
make it better when Asuka eventually dethrones her.
Yeah. I don't know.
We were wrong about the cash-in.
Wasn't even a tease, which surprised me.
Well, I think it's because Charlotte won, so it's like, well, she still looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have made sense for her to cash in at all. I mean, the heel's not going to cash in after the face wins the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a very heel tactic. We had Charlotte countering the Twisted Bliss.
Yeah.
And then locking in the figure 8.
And getting up, like, super easy after she'd had her, like, ribs worked over all match.
Yeah.
It was just, no, I'm cool.
Yep.
But I thought it was a great match.
It was a good match.
So I like, this is stupid and just little details, but I love that every match where there was a tag team or whatever, or just every match in general, Raw started in the same corner and SmackDown started in the same corner. Every match.
Yeah. But this does bring us to, so at this point, SmackDown is now up 3-2.
So you're thinking Men's Survivor, it's going to go Raw's way, and then they're trying to leave it like maybe AJ could win.
Right.
But they immediately say AJ Styles is next, and you're like, well, clearly Brock's going to win.
Obviously.
Like, there's no way they don't tie it up before the last match, right?
Yeah. And Brock Lesnar does win. And early on, it looked like this was going to be a squash.
AJ Styles sold that so well.
Oh my God, dude. He was getting thrown around the ring like a rag doll.
I thought he was going to die.
Really?
No.
Okay.
But I like legit, AJ Styles is so good, he can make you believe.
Yeah, man. He's
at the beginning, like, he made you believe, like, I'm done.
And early on, like, he tried to get some offense in, but Brock just wasn't having it. And then finally he gets some offense in. And once he got offense in, that match picked up. And that match of the night for me.
Match of the night.
It was unbelievable. He had a couple of those springboard forearms. And then he hits that 450 splash for the near fall. I thought, I'm not going to lie, there was a part of me that was like, Styles might win this match.
That's why he's so good. He makes you just think, like...
Yeah. And I read something...
He makes you think that maybe WWE sees in him what I see in him.
I don't remember where it was that I read it, but somebody was spot on. They said AJ Styles' job last night was not to win the match. It was to make everybody think he was going to win the match.
Which he did.
And because halfway through that match, I was like, I'm starting to think Styles might pull this off.
Did you see Heyman after the match?
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, as far as like his...
I think my favorite spot of the night, though, was when Styles, which I thought was funny, Styles tries to hit Brock with the Styles Clash. Brock counters it, and then Styles reverses that counter into the Calf Crusher.
Yeah.
Dude, Brock was selling the hell out of it.
He was screaming.
And it was funny because, like, just a couple minutes before that, the people that I was with, I was asking, I was like, do you think Brock, like, how do you think he sells the Calf Crusher if he gets put in it? And everybody was like, I don't think it's going to be like that bad, but man, he sold the hell out of it.
He sold it like he'd never been in that much pain in his life. Like he had like stepped on a bear trap or something.
Right. And then, he, of course, to get out of it, just starts slamming Styles' head down.
So brutal. But if you watch, like, he puts his, like,
he's protecting
hand
him
behind his head.
Yeah.
And he's basically punching the canvas.
Yeah.
So it was, like, he did it like a pro.
It looked brutal, but he was definitely protecting
savage,
him.
But yeah, he did it completely safe.
Yeah. That's the thing, like...
Did you see when he ran... I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
Go ahead.
When he ran Styles, like, he threw him into, like, the announce table and, like, cut open his shoulder?
Yeah.
I was like, Styles is selling too well. He's hurting himself now.
Yeah. That's the thing with Brock Lesnar, man, is, like, you never know which Brock Lesnar you're going to get. You're going to the guy's either going to show up and he's just going to be there, doesn't care about the match, or he's going to show up and he feels like he's vested in the match. The match with Samoa Joe. great match. He looked like he was interested in that match. Braun Strowman doesn't look like he really gave a shit about that match.
So I disagree with you. And
What?
I think it was just because, like, we've had this discussion. It was just the ending of the matches. But, like, I think, like, it was just because we've gotten into such, like a formula with Brock Lesnar matches, you know. They get in all their offense, 1 F5, it's over. And this one kind of veered off of that, and I think that was good. We needed that. You know what I mean?
Brock needed this match.
Yeah.
Because now it feels like I'm okay with him being Universal Champion and being away from TV every week.
I love how, like, afterwards it looked like Brock was waiting for AJ to get up or something so he could, like, give him respect or something. And then, like, even as he's walking up the ramp, he keeps looking back like he's trying to give him respect, but AJ's still selling for him.
Can we talk about for a minute Brock selling after the match? I thought he legit tore his ACL or something. I thought he was legit hurt. Apparently, I read reports today that he's not hurt and he was just selling that knee injury.
Stone Cold said on his podcast, he says Brock Lesnar will sell for anyone.
Yeah, well.
He will absolutely, doesn't matter who you are, he'll sell for you. He's the absolute professional when it comes to being in the ring.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Of course, Styles hits the phenomenal forearm, and that's when I was like, all right, this might be over.
I thought he was going to kick out.
And he did.
I was like, it's going to take at least 2 to put him down.
Yeah. But when he went up, when he pulled the arm, or the elbow pad off, and went for the second phenomenal forearm, I literally was like, I called it. He's going to catch him right here into the F5.
Yeah.
He did. But man.
As he did that, I was thinking, Glenn called it.
Yep.
I swear.
Styles brought out a match in Brock that I don't think I've seen in 4 years.
Well, the thing is like Brock is capable of these matches. It's just whether or not
capable of putting on great matches.
Yeah, whether or not you let him go off script and
right,
have a long match.
Yeah, and it might again it's his best match he's had in 4 years since he's been back with the company.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I mean, he had good matches with Taker and stuff.
Yeah,
Cena.
I mean, yeah, the WrestleMania match against Taker was good, and his match against Joe was good, but there was just. And I don't know if he
wrestled a lot of good matches back in the day too. It's not like he's not capable of it.
Right.
It just seems like WWE wants to protect him or something.
Yeah.
And Styles needs to stop selling so hard. No, because or he needs to stop taking bumps so hard. Because I mean, like he legit just wants to put on a show for the fans, but like,
dude, I
started thinking
40 years old
at TLC against Dean Ambrose. I just remember thinking, dude, you're too old for this.
Yeah.
Like he tried to kill himself in that match. Like he does not care. He just wants to put on a good show. But I just get scared. Like, oh my god, he's gonna get hurt. Yeah.
It is surprising that he hasn't been hurt as much as he has.
Some guys just don't get hurt, man. It's weird. Like Jeff Hardy, all the crazy shit he's done. And this is like his first major injury ever. That's insane. Like even he said he's like, I don't know. Other than dirt biking or whatever, I don't know. Right. He's like, I've just been very fortunate.
Yeah.
And then some guys just can't catch a break, like Seth Rollins. WrestleMania season.
Yep.
Probably injure his knee soon.
All right, let's get on to the main event. I have a lot to say about this match. This match, garbage. You want to talk about being pissed off? This match pissed me off.
It started off so good. It just seemed like we were going to get a dream match, tag out to another dream moments, match.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It started off right because I was like, I don't even care that this is going slow right now. This is just like giving us what we want.
Right. So Team Raw defeats Team SmackDown.
Shocker.
How did you feel about Shinsuke being the first one eliminated?
Thought it was a mistake.
I agree.
Why are you getting rid of Shinsuke and Bobby Roode for guys like Randy Orton and John Cena?
So that's the thing. Here's the thing. Here are your first 5 eliminations. Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor was 5th. Somebody went before him.
John Cena then.
It might have been John Cena. Yeah, it was John Cena. Then it was Finn Balor. Tell me why you are in a match that people were saying there was a lot of storytelling in this match, and I strongly disagree because somebody said, well, there's that clear feud between Angle and Shane, and I'm like, yeah, but there's like Shane doesn't have a vendetta against Kurt Angle, like it was only for brand supremacy. So those two didn't have to be.
Can we be upset about the way the match started? Because Angle said, like, I'm captain of my team. I'm going to start this match. Yeah. And if Shane has any balls, he'll do the same.
Mm-hmm.
He said that on Monday.
Yeah.
Sunday comes. They don't start the match.
Neither one of them.
I was immediately upset about the match.
Yeah.
Who started? It was Braun Strowman and Shane. And Strowman pushes Shane and Shane tags out. Like, I thought Shane was hurt. Because he just sat there for a minute. Like, even after, like...
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he might have just hurt himself, and that's why he tagged out so quick.
And then was it... Did Joe immediately tag himself in? There was a lot of, like...
Yeah.
There was a lot of friction between the Raw team. And for no reason whatsoever, really. Like...
Yeah, there was friction between Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. What annoys me was how much, like, dissension there was in the Raw team, and yet they still won decisively.
Right.
It made SmackDown look really weak.
Right. Because, in theory, if it were not for Triple H, there would have been 3 surviving members of the Raw team.
And this is with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn trying to sabotage SmackDown.
Yeah.
This made SmackDown look really weak.
They come out, they brutally attack Shane McMahon, and he sells it for 20 seconds before grabbing a chair and just fucking going ham on these two.
It's crazy, too, that, like, you have a Big 4 pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view with both Raw and SmackDown, but the main event is clearly just to further Raw's feud and just had nothing to do with SmackDown.
Yeah.
SmackDown was just there.
There was no reason for the final men in this match to, aside from Braun Strowman, be all part-timers.
Kurt Angle, Triple H, Shane McMahon.
Right.
And how did Shane not tap out?
Here's the thing. Why was John Cena even in this match?
For star power. Just to get people to watch it.
That's it. Like, just to get people to watch it. He didn't even wear his team colors, right?
Right.
Did they do that?
He was, like, the only one, too.
Did they do that because he's still a free agent, so he doesn't really give a shit? Like, he was just there to wrestle? Or what? Who did he eliminate? Was he eliminated...
He eliminated Samoa Joe.
He eliminated Samoa Joe, right?
Yeah.
I'm like getting so mad I can't even form words in my head.
Samoa Joe got distracted by Balor. Takes a FU, stands right up, takes another FU.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, takes an AA. Didn't it used to be called the FU?
It used to be the FU, yeah.
Wow.
It's the attitude adjustment now. I'm like so mad like at the way this match went. Like I can't even form words in my head and sentences. If anything, the only reason I'm glad Shinsuke Nakamura was the first one eliminated was so that I didn't have to hear Michael Cole just call him Shin the whole time.
Is that what he was saying?
Yeah, he just kept calling him Shin. Like his name was Shinsuke Nakamura. Just call. You can call him Knock. Call him Nakamura. Call him Shinsuke. Don't stop calling him Shin. And then let's go ahead and get to the finish of this match. Triple H. Kurt Angle has this match won, right? Like Shane, like it made no sense. First off, hold on, Kurt Angle. After watching that match, I don't ever want to see him wrestle in the WWE again.
Well, even he said like on that like table for 3, he's like, I'm 94. Okay.
Yeah, like the dude is a shell of his former self.
He says like I've taken too many bumps. Apparently, you only have so many.
Yeah.
And I used to give like 500 or 1,500 a week, doing
right.
300 a day.
And that pedigree. If you look, Angle, man, his fucking head was like still bent down when Triple H went down, so he spiked the fucking mat. So Triple H pulls Kurt Angle off of Shane McMahon from doing the he had the ankle lock in. Pulls him off, pedigrees him, pulls Shane over, Shane gets the 3 count. Then we're just supposed to believe all of a sudden that like, oh, okay, he was helping him because he's his brother-in-law, you know.
Because Triple H is noble. And
yeah, because Triple H does that. Disregard the fact that we
Braun Strowman
knew.
Legit look confused.
Braun Strowman was the best part about this match.
His face was perfect. He legit was like, what's happening? I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was like, he looks like he's just about to start beating people up just so that nobody beats him up. Because he's like so confused about what's happening. So,
I am not mad that Team Raw won.
I thought, you know what? After Triple H beat Kurt Angle, I was like, I don't know what the hell just happened. But I was like, maybe Kane comes out now and takes out Braun, and then Shane actually comes back from 3-1. Wouldn't that be stupid? That would have been ridiculous.
Yeah. And then, so then he pedigrees Shane and wins the match. It literally just felt like this only happened because Triple H wanted his hand raised.
It's so obvious that, like, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
so obvious after the match that Braun was going to hit him with a power slam.
Yeah. And then he hit him with a double one.
It took like 5 minutes for him to like provoke Strowman.
Yeah.
His face, like when Strowman was choking him though.
Dude, he looked like he was crying.
He looked like he was going to cry.
He looked out of it. This was the worst match.
It's so like annoying.
Like the more I think about it, the more I do think I hated this match more than the women's match. Like it.
I hated the Becky spot of the women's match.
Yeah.
The rest of it was fine.
There was no reason why these young guys got eliminated so early on in this match for.
If Raw is gonna win
for 3 part-timers,
what is wrong with Finn Balor and Samoa Joe surviving over Kurt Angle and Triple H?
Even if one of them, like, what is wrong with Braun being the one? Like, if you're gonna push Braun, it looks like that's gonna be the case. It looks like Braun is gonna be the guy. Why didn't he get the win? Because here's my problem with the way things went down. You've now started 3 storylines for Triple H, and him versus Angle. Him versus Shane, and him versus Braun.
And him versus Jason Jordan.
Yeah, like, it just doesn't make sense the way it ended.
Who didn't come out to defend his father.
Right.
I think, like, it's terrible booking.
It was
like,
overbooked.
No, as far as, like, ending a pay-per-view in confusion.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Like, I get you want to leave us wondering so we tune in the next night.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, wouldn't it have been better to have that and then finish the night with AJ Brock?
Yeah, I think so.
I hate pay-per-views that end in, like, confusion where, like, the announcers don't even know what's happening. It's not like his motives aren't clear, so it's like, what the...
And what's shocking to me is Triple H should know better. You know, he books NXT so well. He should know better that this is not how it should end on the main roster.
And this better not be one of those things like when he screws over Seth Rollins and puts the title on KO. And then we don't see him on TV for months to explain his actions.
Right.
For months.
Yeah.
If he's, like, off TV for months before he explains, like, why?
Yeah.
So you just had a moment just to have a moment, and it's a moment nobody wanted, nobody cared about.
Yep.
But you think this was Braun's face turn?
I do. I think this solidified Braun Strowman's face turn. And I think they did it well. Like, I think Braun's push from when he first started to his monster heel to his face turn right now, this was how Roman Reigns should have been pushed.
Roman Reigns breaking up the Shield, beating Lesnar for the title at Mania, which we all know is going to happen, so we're going to hate it more anyway. And then his eventual loss to Finn Balor, who's a face, is the best way to book Roman Reigns going forward.
You think he loses the Finn? Oh, or you're just saying that's
eventually
how it should
down
be.
the road. I think if you have Roman Reigns break up the Shield, which turns him heel, obviously, beats Brock Lesnar in a match nobody wants to see, wins the title in a match we all know is going to happen anyway. That's the best way to book Roman Reigns. People are going to boo him more than they already do.
Yeah.
But it's what it'll be in WWE setting it up, kind of
right.
Instead of like, you know what I mean?
But that's not how they're going to book it. Dean's going to turn, and they're still going to try and... I mean, maybe... I don't know. Maybe this Braun Strowman thing has changed what they planned with Roman Reigns. I doubt it, but maybe.
Except for Rollins turns. It'll be dumb. Like, you can never have a Shield reunion 3.0.
No, like, I don't think you do anyways, which is unfortunate.
I think, like, you do, but it's like a decade down the road.
Maybe.
It has to be like it has to be like a nostalgia.
It's got to be longer than 3 years.
It's got to be a nostalgia thing. Because right now it still feels kind of fresh.
Right. I don't know, man. But
so that was our recap.
Yeah,
it was a terrible show.
That's all I have.
I can't remember last time I was this excited for their show, and then immediately deflated when Becky lost, and I was immediately just like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
And of course, Styles and Brock. Well, before that, I got back into it. Like, I want to see Charlotte and Alexa really got me back into it. Whereas everything else I was tolerating.
Yeah.
Because I was already in a bad mood.
All right, man. That is all I got tonight.
All right.
Anything else from you?
Nope.
All right, man.
Just that I hate life, and I'm convinced. I'm absolutely 100% convinced. They just don't believe in Becky.
Yep.
They don't value her half as much as I do.
Yeah, I agree.
Which I probably overvalue her, but...
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
All right, man.
Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. 816 Podcasting at 816podcasting.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher. Rate and review, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.